starting to pace himself. He knows there's only 8 sheep, but he's got to do it quickly. Down there, Rodney Neal from Tickledy, and they're all on the last side. Rodney Mcdonald on stand 4 from Raglan. Then James Fagan and Digger Barn goes in. Look at that, 42.5 seconds. 42.5 seconds. That's a little bit quick in there, eh? They've quickened it up a bit. They've been out and done a few exercises. They know what it's all about. Rodney Mcdonald's back onto the board, along with all the others. Look at them. Well, let's have a look now at seat number 2. They're starting to peel them off. Have a look at that time, the one in red, 1:23. And they're down the last side. Digger Barnes going to hit them out again. He doesn't want to be let fall over. He says, hang on, Digger, I'm coming through. I'll be right with you. And 2 blows behind him, and he's in, and he steps in pretty quick this time. The judges had to move very quick. Now, down the last side, McDonald, down the last side, Neal. So too is James Fagan, and then goes James Fagan on stand number 3. 8 competition sheep they have this year, and Paul Avery fires those big blows over the tail and takes half an acre off the wall. Up the neck and round behind the ears, Digger Barnes. The sweat's not starting to come yet. It's all wrapped up in that little headscarf he's got, that sweatband. Over the tail goes Rodney Mcdonald with 2 big blows. 3 he put in. Roger Neal's up the neck, and James Fagan's into the long bow. But Paul Avery's hit the front. Down the last side he goes. Digger Barnes down over the last front shoulder. James Fagan over the last front shoulder. So the pace is hot. In goes to Paul Avery. That's number 3 down the port. Almost less than 2 minutes, 20 seconds on already. So we're on an electric pace setter here. In goes Digger Barnes. In goes James Fagan on stand number 3. Roger Neal and Rodney Mcdonald blow for blow down there on stands 4 and 5. Beautifully shorn. Right out onto the back off for Rodney on stand number 4, and he's going to go in next. From Raglan, the boy in the light blue singlet back onto the board. He comes. Roger Neal goes in from Tickledy, but the pacemaker is still the man from Stratford. Paul Avery on stand number 2. Round the long blow he comes. He's starting to open his shoulders a little bit. Number 4 on the board. Have a look at that time. 2:52, and he's underneath the last front shoulder. Here comes Digger Barnes down over the last front shoulder. He decides to pick the pace up, and James Fagan goes with him. McDonald gets into the long blow. He's starting to set out after the leaders. Roger Neal bringing up the rear at the moment on stand number 5. In goes the boy from Stratford, Paul Avery. The judges change, and in goes Digger Barnes from Tickledy. He goes almost right through the door. Then one about opening it. He says, I'll go straight through. In goes James Fagan on stand number 3. Look at Rodney Mcdonald, your local man. Come on, you Raglan people. Get behind that big fella on stand number 4. He's back onto the board. A little bit of a struggle there for Paul Avery, but he's got control, and he just controls it lovely. Down onto the long blow he goes and wriggles. James Fagan's up the neck. Digger Barnes into the long blow. Roger Neal brings another sheep out. Rodney Mcdonald goes over the tail. Goodness gracious me, the Fluid Fertilisers New Zealand Limited Open U semi-finals. Still the man from Stratford. Put the hammer down again a little bit. He's got number 5 on the board, going for number 6, is it? Look at that time. Oh, goodness, it can't be, can it? Surely, is that right? How many sheep have they got? Check those numbers, make sure they're right for me. Looks like he's got 5 on the board now. No, he hasn't. He's got number 6 on the board. They have indeed. What a cracking pace we're watching. Rodney Mcdonald goes in. Roger Neal goes in. James Fagan takes the top knot off. Now, how close are they? Digger Barnes starting to reel the man from Stratford in Paul Avery, so you've got a bit of a battle going on now. James Fagan is into the long blow. Barnes hits the front on stand number 1, the man from Tickledy. He's sucking a bit of air, and the sweat starting to come over that sweatband. And there's only 2 sheep left to go. 8 competition sheep from Paul Avery's got a little bit of a kicker. In goes Digger Barnes on stand number 1. He's gained the lead. James Fagan down the last side. Barnes getting excited. He's into that first hind leg. He loves it. Into the first hind leg and over the tail he goes with a couple of big blows. Takes the top knot off. James Fagan goes in. Rodney Mcdonald down the last side. Roger Neal down the last side and goes in. James Fagan goes in on stand number 3. Over the tail goes Paul Avery from Stratford. Around the long blow comes the flyer on stand number 1. He's hit the front. 1 sheep left to go. He's going to be hard to pull back. Goodness gracious me. Way down the last side on stand number 1, Digger Barnes from Tickledy. Right out onto the back off with 1 sheep left to go. I don't think they're going to pull him back now. He's wound up and look at that time, 5 minutes 30, and he's got number 8 on the board. That's the last one for Digger Barnes. What a cracking pace. In goes Paul Avery from Stratford. Roger Neal getting ready to go in for another one. Rodney Mcdonald round the long blow. James Fagan from Peter Whitty on stand number 3. Fires it up the port on, he'll be in for another one. But it's Digger Barnes all the way. He trailed a little bit right through to sheep number 5. Then the last 3, he just put the hammer down and he's into the long blow. Well, look at that time. What a cracking pace. Come on, Rodney! Minutes and 5 seconds, and he's on to the last side of his 8th and final sheep. Down over the last front shoulder. Around the long blow comes a man from Stratford, Paul Avery, a couple of kickers, and that's what it does here. But it's Digger Barnes all the way at the moment, the man from Tigwoody on stand number 1. It kicks a little bit, he brings the head out, tucks it up under his tummy, and away down the last side he goes. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Woohoo, 6:25 in those 8 sheep. And right behind him is Paul Avery from Stratford. Then comes James Fagan from Tigwoody. Down there on stands 5 and 6. Come on, you Raglan people, keep them going. Roger O'Neill from Tigwoody on stand number 5. Getting ready to finish as he puts his 8 sheep out the ball, out the hole. And Rodney Mcdonald. Give them all a hand. What a cracking coach.
Sheep out. Get your sheep out. That's the stuff. Get ready by your machines. Timekeepers ready. Judges, competitors, go. I think it's a quick shear. The first time we've had a veteran quick shear. Okay, now let's just watch them as we go along. For Philip Woodward here on stand number 2 from Tuakau. Now he's the youngest in this group up here this year, here at Raglan. And he's obviously done just a little bit of shearing lately. And he's able to handle these sheep reasonably well. As he said, he's over 50. He won't tell us by how much, but we'll get it out of him next year, because if he doesn't tell. Tipper ups at the back. Can we have a couple of tipper ups at the back, please? Then we've got Rodney Mcdonald on stand number 3 from Tiuku. And Rob, of course, has been president here for many, many years. And he's been a stalwart here of the Raglan committee, and it's great to see him up here having a bit of fun and having a shear. And of course, he's sure around here and ran gangs for many, many years. A couple of tipper ups out the back, please. We need a couple of tippers for the judges. Come on, you open boys that were in the semi-finals. So Rob Mcdonald here on stand number 3 from Tiuku. And look at just how easy it is when he pops it out the porthole. Makes you sick, doesn't it? He's 61, he can still shear like that. Then next to him we've got Jim McDonald from Hamilton. And at 67, he too can just pop him out the porthole. Jim's had a go at this for several years, and he comes back and he enjoys it, he says. He enjoys the camaraderie. And then on stand number 5, we've got Ian Mcmillan at 71 years of age from Hamilton. And Ian comes out each year and shears. And of course, in the days when Ian was shearing, as you can see he's left-handed, there wasn't many left-handed shearers around. What they did was they made them change hands and shear right-handed, because the gear was all right-handed gear. But obviously Jim Ian rather stuck to his guns, and he sure left-handed. And by all accounts, he was quite a good shearer in his day. And he's not doing too damn bad now, is he? So Philip Woodward here on stand number 1. Just around the long blow. Rob McDonald there from Tiuku on stand 2. Looks like he's handling that one pretty good. Don't know what it is these old fellas have, but they're able to get those sheep to sit still and not kick. Maybe there's something that the young fellas can learn from these jokers. They must talk to them. Jim McDonald there on stand number 4, down underneath that last front shoulder. And there's not too much between these 3 here. And in fact, Ian Mcmillan from Hamilton at 71. Not doing too bad either as he comes down over the last front shoulder. And it's Philip Woodward on stand 2. Rob McDonald on stand number 3, then Jim McDonald on 4. They've got their 2 sheep finished in the Veterans, and Ian McMillan.
Quality on the board, quality out the back.
You have to come after 9.
All right, Mr. Referee.
You have to come down and pick me up after 9
Next, you the referee up here today? You're okay? You're happy? You're settled?
Okay.
Let's go.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Ready, steady, go. Yeah. And the buggers do go.
Timekeepers ready. Judges ready. Competitors, get set, go. 16 competition sheep they have this year. They bring them out straight away. Keep an eye on those red signs up there, on the red figures. Just watch out how quick they go. Dig a barm, he'll be right into it. He wants to win one of these. He just wants to. Every year he comes here and he almost certainly gets in one of the finals, if not both of them. 2003 is just the year for Digger. The current champion, David Fagan, on stand number 2. What can you say about him? Watch him and you'll see. It'll unfold. On stand number 3, Paul Avery from Stratford. One of the greats. And on stand 4, we have James Fagan. It's hard to say that he's up and coming. He's been in so many finals. He's a very, very good shearer. He'll be up against it tonight, time-wise a little bit maybe, but we've also seen James shear some very, very fast sheep over the last few years. He's a very accomplished shearer. A very good merino shearer as well. Now on stand number 5, the big fellow, Rodney Mcdonald from Raglan. Now we know Rodney can move it along. He said to me tonight, he said, oh, I think the pace will outstrip me a little bit, but don't take any notice of that. Big Bad Rodney, as we call him down there on stand number 5. He can really put it together, and if he gets everything right, he's going to be hard to hold back. Believe you me, the local boy, all he needs is some support from the Raglan people, and he'll be doing everything he can. But at the moment, it's David Fagan, the current champion, and he's set the place alight. Look at that. 1:28.29, and 2 sheep have gone down the portal. That's how quick it's going to be. You've got to be right up with the pace tonight if you want to get on to get anything into that prize money for this, the Open News here at Raglan 2003. Sponsored, of course, by Fluid Fertilisers New Zealand Limited. Now they've got 16 competition sheep this year. Paul Avery brings another one out. McDonald's up with the pace pretty well. Back onto the board he comes. Over the tail goes James Fagan. Up the neck comes Digger Balm. Onto the last side comes David Fagan on stand number 2. He's fair blitzing the field at the moment. Has he gone too early? Who knows? 12:48 is the time that's picked at the moment. Under 13 minutes for 16 sheep. That's a massive effort. These sheep are shearing pretty well. You can see people out in the crowd there just looking and wondering in amazement, saying, good God, they're shaking their heads. How quick can they go? Well, they're going quick right before your eyes. David Fagan into the first time leg. Got a little bit of a struggler there at the moment. Over the tail he goes. A little bit of sand, but he takes the top knot off and steps up the neck. Digger Balm starting to suck in a wee bit of fresh air. Over the tail he goes, and he'll come back. So too will Paul Avery on stand number 3. These shearers are great. Rodney Mcdonald from Raglan down there on stand number 5. Just trailing the field at the moment, but don't count him out. He's shown very, very well indeed to get through to this final. He's calm. He's got a beautiful slow hand. You watch him when he gets to the last side. He's one of the best last sides in the business. James Fagan from Peterwoody on stand number 4. Onto the last side he comes, and you can't count this young fella out either. Down over that last front shoulder. Still, the face could be too hot, Phil, but don't you worry about that. He'll have had a little plan in there. David Fagan on stand number 2. Away down the valley now. Now, look at this. Digger Balm starting to reel him in already on stand number 1. Over the tail goes David Fagan on stand 2. Digger Balm takes the top knot off and steps up the neck. So things are happening already. James Fagan has got another sheep out on stand number 4. The man from Stratford, Paul Avery, goes in for another sheep. He could come up. Still, Rodney Mcdonald there from Raglan on stand number 5. Fluid Fertilisers New Zealand Limited. They're the sponsors. This is the Open New final here at Raglan for 2003. What a night, what a day. Up the neck comes the man from Stratford, Paul Avery. David Fagan heading out, still keeps the lead. In he goes. He takes a big breath of fresh air and goes to Digger Balm on stand number 1. Fagan down the belly, Balm down the belly. Now look, we're starting to get a bit of a battle on here. One of the battles of old, and Fagan goes over the tail. Oh, what a style, what a blow, goodness gracious me. And within 4 blows, look at the lead he's put on Digger Balm already. Up the neck, but Digger won't worry about that. He'll be back in. Paul Avery just sitting there nicely. McDonald sitting down there on stand number 5, just peeling them off. He's got through 5, he's going in for 6. Up the neck comes James Fagan. Digger Balm round the long blow, and David Fagan peeled that one off, and look at it. Holy smoke. Back onto the board he comes. Sucks a bit of air, breathes in that air, gotta have that air. Digger Balm right out onto the back hock. It's hot work. Into the first hind leg and over the tail goes Fagan, and he's starting to really peel him off now. Stand number 3, Paul Avery from Stratford, down over the last front shoulder. James Fagan down the last side on stand number 4, and it kicks a wee bit. Ooh, it's a big sheep too, look at that one. He'll handle that one. That last little bit of kicking, he certainly doesn't need that. He puts the handpiece down and controls it, brings the head out, tucks it up under his tummy. Rodney Mcdonald from Raglan down over the last front shoulder. David Fagan on stand number 2, fires another one out the fall. They are huge ewes. He's tucked in some more rear. He's starting to put a bit of distance between him and the other shearers now. Digger Barn closest to him. Onto the last front shoulder comes Barn. Fagan into the first hind leg, and he's there firing those blows over the tail. Look at that style. Into the first front shoulder. Down into the long blows. Not wasting any blows at all, and around the long blow he comes onto the last side. Does David Fagan from Tikawiti. Barnes come out with another one. The man from Stratford, Paul Avery on stand number 3 in the middle. The switch starting to come out now. He just about took the door off that time. Down the board all it goes, stand number 3. Paul Avery's got another one out onto the board. James Fagan brings another one onto the board. These sheep are feisty, right? They're going to test anybody and everybody. The top knot comes off for Fagan, up the neck it goes. Digger Barn on stand number 1 now. I thought he was starting to catch Fagan up, but look at the distance between them now. In goes Digger Barn on stand number 1, but we've seen him come back from here. Paul Avery on stand number 3 from Stratford. Down over the last front shoulder. Fluid Fertilizers, New Zealand Limited, they're the sponsors. James Fagan around the long blow onto the last side. Rodney Mcdonald in this ewe shearing final, the open ewe final. The man from Raglan, round the long blow he comes. Gets ready to come onto the last side of another sheep. He's holding it all together, the big fella down there on stand number 5. Fagan reaches in for another one. Back onto the board he comes. What numbers he got now? He's on sheep number 10, and have a look at that time. 6 minutes 49 seconds. That's how quick they're going. Over the tail he fires. Half an acre of wool comes off. Down the last side comes Digger Barn. He'll be in for number 10. James Fagan up the neck. Paul Avery from Stratford on stand number 3 in the middle there. Picks up the last front leg and away down the last side. David Fagan down over the last front shoulder. By God, it looks like he might be going to lap these other 2 on stands 1 and 3. Away down the last side he goes. 16 competition sheep they have this year. Fagan's peeling that last side off. Bit of a Chinaman there. The sweat's starting to come now. Then he goes on stand number 2. Back onto the board with another one. What's he going to do with this one? Away down the belly he goes. Meantime, into the long blow goes Digger Barn. Into the first front shoulder goes Paul Avery. James Fagan goes in for another one. On stand number 4. He's getting out number 10 by the look of it. Rodney Mcdonald on stand number 5 from Raglan, the local man. Puts another beautifully shorn sheep out the porthole, and he decides it's time to change a handpiece for the last 7. Round the long blow onto the last side. David Fagan from Tikawiti. In goes Paul Avery from Stratford on stand number 3. Digger Barn changed the handpiece and got another one out on stand 1. Into the long blow goes James Fagan there on stand number 4. McDonald over the tail, takes the top knot off and steps up the neck. David Fagan on stand number 2, he sneaks in for another one. That'll be number 12, I would imagine. He's got 4 left in the pen, and have a look at that time. Now we got a prediction of 12:48 for the time for 16 sheep. That's an incredible time. But over the tail goes Fagan, takes the top knot off and steps up the neck. Digger Barn down over that last front shoulder. So too is Paul Avery, just a couple of blows ahead of Barn at the moment. Nothing much in it, but still this man on stand number 2, well out in front. Round the long blow he comes on his 12th sheep, 4 left in the pen. Just peeling them off. Down over the last front shoulder for the man from Tikawiti, David Fagan on stand number 2, the current champion here at Raglan. Right out onto the back off, you'll tidy this one out and down the porthole it goes. These sheep are big, they've got a lot of work, they're strong. Handpiece change for Fagan for the last 3 or 4 sheep. Steps in and grabs the next one. James Fagan from Tikawiti on stand number 4. He's down the last side of another sheep, right out onto the back off. Just as Rodney Mcdonald from Raglan, the local man, gets into that long blow. You local people should be cheering him on a bit. He's up there cheering for Raglan. That's the stuff. Let him hear. Let him know you're here. Up the neck comes David Fagan on stand number 2, and it struggles a wee bit, and he just takes control of it. Now Paul Avery from Stratford just jumps ahead of Digger Barn, only by a blow and a half, and then goes Barn from Tikawiti on stand 1. James Fagan takes the top knot off, just as David Fagan on stand number 2 comes down over that last front shoulder. The sweat's starting to pour off these five gentlemen up here at the moment. It's hot work, it's hard work, and underneath the last leg goes David Fagan. He's in for 14. He's got 13 sheep drawn in under 10 minutes. That's too hard to work out, goodness gracious me. It's just so quick. Round the long blow comes Digger Barn from Tinker when he gets round onto the last side. Over the tail goes Fagan, over the last front shoulder comes Paul Avery. Now there's a battle going to be on between these two. Then on stand 4 we've got James Fagan goes in for his 13 sheep, brings it out onto the board. Mcdonald round the long blow, gets ready to come onto the last side, still cheering calmly. Then goes stands 1 and 3 together, Barn and Avery. There's one hell of a battle going on between those two. But still the master down the last side, Fagan from Tikawiti, and he just peels off another one. Then he goes for sheep number, what is it this time? Goodness gracious me, just pops that one out the porthole. Back onto the board he comes. That's number 15. Number 15. One sheep left in the pen for Fagan, and you watch him peel these ones off. Takes the top knot off and he steps up the neck. That sheep's trying to kick, but it hasn't got time. Into the first front shoulder. Now David Fagan into the long blow. On stand 3, Paul Avery. Just slightly ahead of Digger Barn with a little bit of a kicker there. On stand number 3, Avery pops another one out. He's in for 15. Remember, there's only one sheep left in the pen for David Fagan on stand number 2. And he looks like he's got the next one out. He's got number 15 on stand number 2. He's got the last sheep on the board, ladies and gentlemen, and have a look at that time, will you? 11:20 seconds. 11:20. Over the tail he goes, takes the top knot off and steps up the neck. Little bit of a scotchy one there, and he's up the neck and round behind the ears. He's got number, how many have we got left in there? Is that it? He's on his 16th one. On 15, he's got one left, is he? That's 16. I see you can't put any more cards on there, goodness gracious. He's on his last one. Fagan on stand number 2. The current champion, right out onto the back hock he goes. He'll tidy this one up. What a display. Give him a huge hand, ladies and gentlemen. And have a look at that time. 11 minutes and 56.9 seconds for 16 sheep. Wow, what a final. The expert did reckon 12:48. He's well out. We won't risk him again. Down over the last front shoulder. We come in, it looks like Paul Avery from Stratford down the last side on stand number 3. Right out onto the back off, he's going to be next off. What a cracking time he'll have as too. Give him a hand as well, ladies and gentlemen. What a final, these big sheep. And Digger Barn from Tikawiti, right out onto the back off. Just a blow or two away, go for Digger. He'll reach for the time button. Give him a huge hand, he certainly chased it at the start. What a cracking pace. Now down the other end on stands 4 and 5. James Fagan on stand number 4 from Tikawiti. Into that first front shoulder, and he's got his last sheep on the board. Down over around the long blow he comes. What a cracking pace. He said the pace might be a wee bit hot just before he went up there. Well, he was pretty much right. Down over that last front shoulder he comes, but look at the time he's going to post. Away down the last side he goes. Right out onto the back hook as Rodney Mcdonald goes in for another one. James Fagan on stand number 4. Reaches for the time, but give him a huge hand. James Fagan from Tikawiti. He's got his 16 sheep out the water. Now Rodney Mcdonald. Just check those cards on stand number 5 and let me see how good they are. Up the neck he goes. Rodney Mcdonald from Raglan. Into the first front shoulder. I'm not too sure whether it might even be his last sheep or not, is it? Around the long blow for Rodney. Onto the last side he comes. Down over that last front shoulder. Rodney Mcdonald all the way from Raglan. He's right down that last side. He's kept it cool. He's kept it calm.